Good evening. Thank you for having me here today to speak with you. It's a pleasure to be here. In fact, it's a pleasure to be anywhere. Most people don't notice this, but I have a major birth defect. And try as hard as I can, I'm still a little self-conscious about it. You see, one of my pupils, this one right here, is bigger than the other one. Yeah, but my parents tell me not to dwell on what I can't change, but to be thankful for what I do have. You know, like great eyebrows. It's very hard to detail 22 years of my life in 10 minutes, but I'll give you the quick version. According to the doctors, I wasn't supposed to be born. In fact, my parents were told to abort me, but they declined. I believe they chose wisely. The doctor said they were making a big mistake. He will only live a few minutes, maybe only make it through the night. Well, I did make it through that night, the second night, and then 22 years worth of nights. So, what is different about me? I have a condition called atelocyogenesis syndrome type 3. Yeah, it's a mouthful. The doctor's original diagnosis was in fact wrong. They were willing to end my life on a misdiagnosis. My condition is so rare that they have not heard of it before. There are less than 5 people in the world with what I have. Every bone in my body is misshaped. I am missing bones in my legs. All my joints look dislocated. Even though bones in my right hand don't work really well. Even the bones, plus my bones in the ears don't work right either. So because of that, I am deaf without my hearing aids. I was also born with a cleft palate on the roof of my mouth. I cannot stand or walk, so I roll around the house. When I go out, my electric wheelchair is my legs. Because I have one functional lung and a large heart, I'm on oxygen 24/7. I've been hospitalized numerous times and almost died several times. Once I had a seizure, turned blue and limp, and my father had to resuscitate me. Yuck. Ooh. I got two words for him. Tic-tac. I'm telling you, life has not always been easy. In fact, I've even sat through an entire episode of Glee. But I am so thankful to be alive. My life is full. I know that people talk about quality of life, but who can judge that quality? Well, I believe that because God loves us, every life has quality. I've been able to do as much as in my life as many normal people. Okay, so first I had to decide to deal with the health challenges. I realized that I can't do anything about my twisted body other than tweak my attitude and have fun with it. Now, oxygen, that was a big problem. My parents told me that I did not like having the oxygen tube on my face. I got used to it, but here's the catch. When I was little, the oxygen cord stretched everywhere around the house. I know my family was trying to be careful, but someone, like my dad, always tripped on the cord, and guess what happens to my head? Ugh, it hurts. It really hurts. And do you know how hard it was for me to win a game of hide and seek? Get it? Yeah. All right, so when I was 10, I was nominated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation for severely ill children. My wish was to meet President Bush at the White House. It was late summer 2001, and as they were getting my wish into the pipeline, 9/11 happened. So as you can imagine, things got crazy, and the president got just a little busy. So Make-A-Wish asked me for a different wish, and I said, okay, how about we go to Disney World and the Bahamas on a Disney cruise? And you know what? We did. Fast forward 2 years, I'm a teenager now, and through a family friend, I got invited to the White House Christmas party. And would I like to go? Yeah. So when I entered the White House, it was so beautiful, all decorated up, very Christmassy and very warm. There were so many people, important people. You can imagine how nervous I was driving a 300-pound wheelchair through that. Oops, sorry about your foot, Mr. Secretary of State. When I got to the front of the reception line, President Bush was there with Mrs. Bush. He said, "Josh, I've got a gift for you." He handed me a dark blue box with the presidential seal on it, and inside was an autographed baseball from him to me. Wow. In 2006, I was selected to be pilot for a day at the Travis Air Force Base. I had my own pre-flight briefing attended by my crew of enlisted men and officers. Got a tour of the base and the control tower, cleared the pilot of a large cargo jet for takeoff. And then, this is every kid's dream, I got to spend 30 minutes in a $13 million video game. It was awesome. I was piloting a C-5 transport plane. It's the biggest military plane there is. I flew underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, almost killed myself. And then I landed the jet by myself in Hawaii. It was just like Top Gun. Talk to me, Goose. I've gone sprint car racing at 80 miles per hour. I've spent 3 seasons playing handicap baseball. And I love to play basketball online. Go Warriors. And my best time on the Rubik's Cube is 81 seconds. So you can see that I've been very blessed, but there are many people not as fortunate as me. For instance, many people who cannot walk do not have access to wheelchairs, let alone a fancy electric one. I was the assembly leader for Vacation Bible School for 1st through 5th graders, about 2 years ago. The adult leaders wanted the kids to bring their spare change during the week and use the money raised for soccer balls for poor kids. Well, I just couldn't get that excited about soccer balls because, frankly, it wasn't my favorite sport. Because of a friend I had made in the White House, I learned about the Wheelchair Foundation of Northern California. They provide wheelchairs to Latin America and other parts of the world for $150 each. I discussed this alternative project with the adults, and they agreed that this would be great. They said, maybe we can raise enough money to buy 10 wheelchairs. And I said, 40. And of course, they said, oh no, that is way too ambitious. But hey, I announced a goal of 40 to the kids, and each day that week, we pumped them up. By the end of the week, we actually raised enough money to send not 10, not 40, but 50 wheelchairs all over the world. The teachers, kids, and I were all amazed. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, I was in a middle school leadership class. I had the idea that our class should raise money to help the people that are really troubled. We conducted our fundraisers with the parents, the community, and got a corporation to match funds. I personally spent mornings at the farmer's market. I got a mohawk haircut, wraparound sunglasses, and a chihuahua should stand on my back as I patrolled the market and got people to give. Oh man, the dog was so nervous. The little chihuahua, right? So very nervous. So I had him on my back. Nice butt massage. It was great. So young kids often stare at me. They come over and ask, what happened to you? I say stuff like, cigarettes. That ought to stop them from smoking. Oh yeah, we raised over $30,000 to help those people in New Orleans. Since I got a chance at life, I want to give back to other unborn kids and mothers-to-be who were alone and scared and needed help. So I've raised money through public speaking to help our local pregnancy center. Since 2010, I've been a counselor at a special camp called Paint a Turtle for sick and disabled kids. This camp was inspired by Paul Newman, and it's run entirely on donations. No children are ever charged for the week at the camp. This camp provides fun activities for kids who have medical issues like liver disease, kidney problems, burn victims, little people, Crohn's and colitis, so much more. I was able to speak in a fundraiser in San Francisco, Hollywood, and in New York last year about the camp. And I got to share the stage with other campers, as well as many Hollywood stars, such as, Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, Julie Roberts, Jack Nicholson, Carole King, Amy Grant, Katy Perry, Alicia Keys, Josh Groban. It goes on and on. But I had Josh Groban introduce me, more handsome Josh, introduced me on stage in New York, and I spoke to 3,000 people for about 5 minutes, and that was incredible. So all this before I turned 22. I'm an adult now. But because of my size, people still treat me like I'm a kid. Or worse, some people stare at me like I'm an alien. And I don't mean from Canada, eh? I mean from Mars. If you see someone different, just say hi like you would to any normal person. Like Troy said over there, you can make a person's day if you make them smile. Remember, disabled people didn't choose to be born that way. If you take the time to understand people who are different from you, it makes you a better person, a better child of God. And remember not to judge on someone on how they look on the outside, but look at them on the inside by looking at your heart. Which reminds me of my last heart checkup. 5 years ago, okay? The technician at the hospital turned on Sesame Street. And I was 17 years old, and she turned on Sesame Street. And I'm laying on the bed with wires attached to me and thinking, oh, she didn't pay attention to the birth date on the chart. So then she said, good job, do you want a sticker? And I'm thinking in my head, are you serious, lady? I'd like a mocha frappuccino. So my message to you is this. You have received much, and to whom much is given, much is expected. Just because your nose isn't shaped the way you want it, or you wear glasses, or you're too short, or too tall, or you are balding on top, well, that doesn't mean you aren't valued and loved by God. No matter what you think of the cards you got dealt, you play them. Don't complain and feel sorry for yourself. If I had a choice to be regular, like you guys, or stay the way that I am, I would stay this way. Really. I know I've been through a lot, and maybe some of you have been through even more. But what doesn't break you makes you stronger. Each of you has unique talents and gifts to make a difference in this world. Just be willing to step out in faith and be willing to fail. Every time you fall down, fall forward. Get up and take another step towards your goal. Take your eyes off yourself and put them on others. If we all just do a little more to help others who are less fortunate, we will be doing the best work of all. Thank you and God bless.